Join me today as I create a cozy Christmas mantle with a storybook glow. Everyone, Joe here. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel today and my continuation of my Christmas 2025 decor series. Twas the night before Christmas, and today I'm going to be working in the family room on the mantle, where I'm going to be continuing with this story. And the verse that I'm using in there is, "The children were nestled all snug in their beds." And today you'll see me decorate the mantle, and it's kind of a juxtaposition of two things. I'm using natural elements like berries and pine cones against the garland, and to that, to give it a little bit of a magical kind of a look, juxtapose that with gold leaves and ribbon, as well as some crystals. So you'll see the combination of those two things, how it works out. I bet some of you are thinking, yuck, that's not going to come out right, but I think it looks pretty good. And I'm also going to show you how I coordinated the window treatment that I did on each side of the mantle. So stay tuned and watch how we did that. And don't forget, like always, I always tell you, subscribe. You don't want to miss anything. Put your notification bell in. Drop me a comment, and a thumbs up always helps. Everybody, let's get going. Okay, so the glare is ridiculous. So I'm at this funky angle right now for you. But anyway, so I started by putting the garland on the around the top of the window. And because I did one of the windows already, I'm not going to make the same mistakes again. So I put this on last on the other window, but it's going on first because it was so hard to put on. So I'm going to hang this right in the middle. Now this, what we did was, we were shopping one day and we actually found, we were in a store that sold a lot of curtains and things like that, and they had this as curtains. So we looked at it and we were like, hey, we can use that as garland. So I took one of the strands off and I'm going to use that. So I'm going to put this on first, and then I'm going to put this on, and I'll show you that when I get it up there. It's hard to see with the glare, but you get the idea. I did the center piece right there, and then I did the beaded garland in half, and then I corded it and I put it up like that. Before I put the lights in, I'm going to put this piece of pine in there just to give some texture and some life to that boring garland. Next, I put in 100 red mini lights, and then I started using my picks. I used some holly picks with some berries to fill in. It's still hard to see. I got such a bad glare on this. And I also added in these beautiful picks as well. And it just has the right amount of glistening and magical feel when it was done. Okay, so before I show you that, let's move on to the mantle. And as you can see, I already have my board up there. I did my same board trick with the C-clamps on the end. And then I used a piece of base garland along the front because we have the TV above the mantle here, and I don't want it to interfere with TV viewing and the remote working and whatnot. So I put screws in the front of my board, and then I put my base garland along that, and I'm ready to fill it up now. Okay, so here we are at the garland on the in the family room, and this has undergone some major changes in my brain anyway, and I had a little bit of a tough time with it. I don't know if I was tired or what it was, but I was having a tough time. So anyway, I started with my board on the top, and then I did the horizontal piece of base garland along the board, and I floral wired it to screws that I have in the board. Then I started adding in pieces of Christmas tree branches to thicken it up. Now what I had decided is I want it to be heavy on the right side to compensate for the weight of the tree on the left side, so that it doesn't feel so lopsided, especially to symmetrical people. So you can see that's why it's heavier up on that top part on the right. Now, appears to me as I'm looking for it now. I just woke up. I did this. I started it late last night, but I'm seeing that I need more right there just to thicken that up a little bit. So it's going to call for a couple of branches right there. Now on the left side over there, that hanging piece that's going down, the vertical hanging piece, I really didn't want that. I had wanted it to end up on the top, like up in here. But I added this piece right on here because I want to cover that. See, you can see a little bit of it right there, that plug. I don't like the way that looks. So after I did all that, what I then had to do is, if you notice, I had spray painted this tree gold. And my plan was to spray paint it back to green this year, but I just didn't get around to it, and time is ticking quickly. So what I did was I had these extra pieces of gold garland that I just implanted in this garland so it has the same coloration. So I have the gold going on in there, and I have the gold going on there. Okay, so just so you know what my plan is, I need to get a couple of more branches right there. And number two is I decided I want my book on this side right over here. So that means I'm going to put the book in first, and then I'll come back with the lights. And here's the illustration I used for, and the children were nestled all snug in their beds, and like the rest of them, I painted the edges gold, glued them onto the magazine, and then I Mod Podged on some of that crystal glitter. So here we are with the garland with lights on it. I think I put 300 of the mini white lights, and you can see through the glare, sorry about that, the book is up in the corner right on the right side. Now I started adding in some natural elements like the berries, and I made it look like it was coming out from the book. So I went, towards the left and then down towards the bottom. Then I added in ribbon once again coming out from the book to the left and then towards the bottom. So next I got out my bin of gold picks, and I wanted to look for, I have some gold leaves that have a lot of glitter on them, and I thought that that would give it that little bit of a magical touch, as well as a few other gold picks like eucalyptus and so on. So I'm going to start inserting this, and I'm going to start in that corner again above the book. So you can see there's a variety of things I'm, going to insert in here to fill up my garland, as well as some of my glittered ficus leaves. Pine cones, as always, I use a lot of pine cones, and some red poinsettia, mini poinsettia, to coordinate with the berries. And then dangling down below, beautiful crystals with those droplets for a more elegant, rustic, magical storybook look. So here we go. Let's see what it looks like, and you let me know what you think. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I'm tired, but I'm going to keep on going. I'll be seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.